I'm going to immediately start. I would like to welcome everyone in this celebration for World Ocean Day 2020. And before I start, I would like to recognize the presence of Mika Odido from UNESCO. We do recognize your presence and we really value for you to be here on this day. And every year on 8th June, the world gathers together for a global movement towards responsible stewardship as well as sustainable utilization of ocean and its resources. And for this year, our theme is Innovate for a Sustainable Blue Ocean. And we are going to assess how far we have come and how far yet we have to go in order to achieve healthy and productive oceans. So before we start, I would like to put out some rules. Let's all mute our mics so as we may be able to hear every speaker clearly. And also let's use the chat box to connect, to ask questions and to connect more with this dialogue which we're going to have today. And the panelists of what we have today, they range from academic units to green entrepreneurship to private sectors. And our topic is innovation for a sustainable blue ocean. Are we there yet? So my name is Nasiraba, and I'm a science communication from Aqua-Farms Organization, who are the organizers of this event, and I will be your moderator of the day. So without wasting time, I'm introducing to you the first panelist, and I'm going to read their biography. I'm going to read their biography to start with. I will start with Dr. Matthias Sigulu. Dr. Matthias Sigulu is the Marine and Coastal Science for Management Grant Manager, famously known as MASMA, from Western Indian Ocean Marine Scientists Network. And Dr. Matthias holds a PhD from Radford, the University of Nijmegen, in functional marine ecology. He has over 10 years gained good experience on the different issues surrounding coastal and marine resource management and related issues in coastal East Africa. He is on subjects surrounding marine ecology, ecosystem-based management, coastal habitats connectivity, behavior change, and management of shallow water habitats. He is currently working at WIOMSA Secretariat, managing the regional flag programs that support emerging and senior scientists to turn their dream ideas into practical solutions that contribute to the regional and international development agenda. He passionately works to bring about sustainability on the use of the natural resource, at the same time striking the balance between conservation and sustainable development. He cares deeply about humanity and wholeheartedly believes in a future where people and nature prosper. So that's it for Dr. Matthias Sigulu, and our second panelist is Miss Helen Silas. Helena Silas is medical laboratory technologist, a full-time entrepreneur, environmental activist, founder and director general at Arena Recycling, which is a company that deals with plastic waste management by recycling plastic waste into eco-friendly building materials for construction. She is currently running a project of improving water and sanitation issues in primary schools located at Temeke district by constructing pit latrines and water tanks by using eco-bricks made from recycled plastic waste. She has been recognized by Economic Group World Initiative as one of few women globally who are doing positive activities for ocean impact. She also won multiple awards and competitions, both nationally and internationally. And our last panel is from Comore. His name is Dr. Najim Ahmed. He's a lecturer at University of Comore, Faculty of Sciences and Technology. Dr. Najim is a lecturer at University of Comore, Faculty of Science and Technology, as said earlier. He did his master's thesis in sustainable biodiversity management and conservation, and in 2014, he obtained the Chinese scholarship to do his PhD in marine biology at Ocean University in China. He did his doctoral research on population genetics of bivalves. He is also a Western Indian Ocean Early Career Scientist country coordinator for Comore. So that is the diverse of of our panel. It's ranging from private sector, green entrepreneurship, and academic units. And without wasting time, I'm going to jump for the first question. As I've explained earlier, that our topic of today is innovation for a sustainable blue ocean. Are we there yet? So basing on that topic, question 1, I'm asking the panelists, when we trace back from industries, private sectors, entrepreneurs to scientists, there have been a variety of responses when it comes to defining what innovation is. So in not more than 1 minute, can you take us how you personally define what is innovation, either you or your entities? How do they define innovation to be? And for this, I will start with Dr. Ahmed.
Okay, hello everybody. As Nancy said, I'm Dr. Ahmed from Comoros. Glad to meet you all. You are in this meeting. So from that, we start from the first question that what does it mean innovation for me? Actually, the innovation, this is the process of change. I mean, we need to bring some new ideas or some new methodology or technology to create things during the present or in the future. Those ideas or methods need to be effective. And for me, as an academic researcher, we need to get those innovations as much cheaper we can. From that, when we have effective and cheaper things, in the final we need to get some significant results that we can spread from, for example, in my country or in the Western Indian Ocean region. Yeah, I think from that, this is for me the innovation definition.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed. I will now move to Ms. Helen Silas. Helen Silas, tell us, what does innovation mean to you?
Okay, good evening, everyone. So to me, innovation means reframing challenges as an opportunity, creating and build a new solution to a problem. Yeah, that is all innovation means to me.
Thank you. And we are now going to move to Dr. Matthias Igulu. What does innovation mean to you?
Yes, Nance. Good evening, Nance.
Good evening.
My fellow panelist, Dr. Najim from Comore, Ellen from Tanzania, and our viewers from around the region and outside the region, if I'm not mistaken. I see friends of mine, Dr. Munga also is on board, and I'm learning that Mika Odido is also on this particular meeting. So like I've said, I'm working from WIOMSA. We are in Zanzibar, here in Tanzania, but we operate across the 9 countries in the WIO regions. So thank you very much for inviting us. And before I move to your questions, I want to thank the leadership of the Western Indian Ocean Early Career Scientist Network, and of course also the Aqua-Farms for organizing this particular discussions. So to put it in the context, the ocean is quite big. We're talking about a particular body that cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface, and generates significant amount of energy and so on and so on. So basically, you can mention the benefits for the whole day, and then that's will give you the context of the issue that we are talking. So when it comes to innovation, what does it mean? is simply it could be developing a new methods for scientists. We're talking about how we improving some products, how we improve the way we are operating. So it cannot. It's quite big. It can even go to some ideas, how we think, how we interact with the nation, and so on and so on. So it's basically it gears to improve our life, to our better ways, to a better management of the resources. So anything that will eventually improve our lives, that can be, innovations. So it's quite a big context. So back to you, Nance, for the purpose of time. I think I will shortly say on that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Matthias. So in summary, we have heard from our panelists on what they define innovation to be. So from Dr. Ahmed, in short, he said innovation is a process of change. We have heard from Helen that bringing new solution to problems, and from Dr. Matthias, anything improving our lives. So the common denominator from all the three panelists, we can say that for the purpose of innovation is to improve our lives. So I will come to the second question, which will directly be to Dr. Matthias. Recently, we have heard of WIOMSA announcing innovative sustainability grant for the purpose of driving innovation in the marine environment. So my question is, what kind of innovations are you looking forward to?
Well, thanks, NASA. WIOMSA has been operating in the region for over 20 years. Just resource managers and, of course, also policymakers to have a better way of managing the resources that we have in the regions.
Yes.
So we've been supporting young and emerging scientists to turn their ideas into practical solutions. And each time we've been asking our applicants to come up with the innovative solutions, to come up with the new ideas, how we can approach the problems that energy, fisheries, tourism, whatever it is. But as long as it touches the lives of the people surrounding the coast and the marine, that's we are on board. So specifically, this time WIOMSA has announced a call for innovation and sustainability. So I want to bring these two words, innovation and sustainability. It's very important. It's that particular idea. It should be sustainable. It should not be. It should be applied across the regions, and people should be in the 20 to 30 years to come. People should think of it and then say, okay.
May we mute our mics, please, for those who are joining?
Our way of life has been improved that somebody brought. So the innovation grants, so the innovation grants support development and implementation of sustainable solutions. Like I've said, it has to be sustainable. And at the end of the day, that's in order for maintaining the function of marine ecosystems. And it's not, maybe some people might think, okay, it has to be something entirely new. No. Sometimes we have solutions that are working, let's say, in the Southeast Asia countries, but they have not been applied in the WIO region. So it's not entirely new. It could be an idea that has been applied in some other place, and they want to put it in our region to adapt it. And of course, it can be at a different level for development, or it can be even testing. Somebody wants to test a particular methodology. Let's say, nowadays we're learning that the way we collecting fisheries data is things of the hold. Then maybe we might think like, introducing a mobile application of thinking. Is that what we are looking? It cut across. Many sectors in marine is not restricted to the fisheries. It's long for, and our lives then that will be forward to support innovative of you have seen it. It will be on our 26th site. Then I would encourage website WIOMSA.org. And check out the we are looking. So I hope Nas, I've covered right for specific questions when we get there. Back to you, Nas. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So that was Dr. Matthias Sigulu explaining about the recently announced grant, Innovative Sustainability Grant, which has been announced by WIOMSA. And for those who are joining and they don't know WIOMSA, WIOMSA stands for Western Indian Ocean Marine Scientists Association. And for over 20 years, it has been pioneering conservation and sustainable development of marine and coastal environment in the Western Indian Ocean regions. And for the purpose, I asked Dr. Matthias this question is because I know there are different young people here. I know there are different young people in here who wishes to know how they can contribute innovative ideas, and they do have innovative ideas, but yet they don't know where they could get funds. So kindly, you can check WIOMSA website, and as if I can summarize what Dr. Matthias has said, they're looking ideas which are innovative but sustainable solutions. It's not necessarily to be entirely new, but you can be building up into something which is already done, but in a different way. You can also apply for testing particular methodologies, and this is open for all Western Indian countries. So for young people in here, if you do have your innovative ideas that you know that can make our ocean sustainable, kindly visit WIOMSA website. And I think this grant has come in alliance with this World Ocean Day theme. So I wanted to highlight that. I hope everyone has gotten something. And before I go further, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Jacqueline Uku, the president of WIOMSA. Welcome, Doctor. We value your presence here. So I'll come back to Helen and Dr. Ahmed. Currently, we have seen that our oceans are experiencing threats from ocean acidification, climate change, of exploitation to pollution, etc. Can you elaborate some of the innovative works that have been done either by you or your entities to sustain our oceans? And I will start with Helen.
Hello. Okay, thank you, Nancy, for the question. As I define what is innovation means to me is to create a new solution to a problem. So we at Arena, we found that plastic waste is a big problem to our ocean. And we come with a solution of recycling plastic waste into our building material eco-brick. So what we do, we organize beach cleanups and we collect this plastic waste around the marine animals, and then the collected plastic waste are sorted, melted using the eco-friendly formulas, and we create and we produce the strong brick. So plastic waste, it's estimated plastic waste in the ocean, I mean, it's a big problem to marine animals. As it's known, more than 8 million tons of plastic waste are thrown in the ocean every year. And this plastic waste can break into small pieces called microplastic, which harm the aquatic marine animals. And not only that, is almost more than 100,000 of marine animals are killed in ocean every year because of this plastic. So we at Arena Recycling, we support the Sustainable Development Goals number 14, a life below water, by collecting this plastic waste from the marine animals, and then we use those plastic waste as the key resources for producing building material eco brick. And the eco brick that we produce are used for construction of houses, toilets, and other offices. So we can imagine, like, if we build maybe 100 a greenhouse by using the eco brick, we can save a lot of plastic, and also we can save our ocean by recycling this plastic. So our work, I think, have impacts in sustainable ocean. This is our innovation that we use to make our ocean sustainable. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you so much. So Helen works for a recycling company, and as we have heard, when they recognize the immense plastics that are being dumped in our ocean each year, she came up with her innovative idea of turning this plastic waste into eco bricks that she's now using them for construction. And this directly supports the SDG 14.1 target, in which we are targeting by 2025, we want to prevent and reduce marine pollution of all kinds. So thank you, Ellen, for your innovation. Now I will go to Dr. Najim. Can you elaborate to us some of the innovative works which are being done by your entity to sustain our ocean?
Okay, well, first of all, I would say that our institution has lack of expertise, but I would say when I arrived in 2017 after my PhD, I realized that there was so many lack of ocean research. So I wanted to prioritize something that I can start from, or we can start with my team, and from that we can bring our innovation, our ideas to spread, to have a big, so much big project. So in that year we have started with the basic vertebrate. As Nancy said before in my biography, I've done molecular biology techniques using the Tridecna maxima or bivalves all. But when I arrived in Comoros, there wasn't any information on benthic areas, benthic vertebrates. So I said, okay, from that we can start. Then we can have, because this is a big challenge to do. And you know, without money, but we need to struggle to do these things. So after that, we have starting to do monitoring, even though the benthic communities, and then they are ecosystems. We don't have so much big equipment, but we do as much we can. So in 2018 we had this opportunity to get in the vessel SA Aguilas 2. From that we learned some new technologies, like for example the ski monkey, the jump camera, CPD, and so on. So I said, okay, I have to do like that. So from 2018 till now, I'm trying to build some equipment that we can work in the coastal areas and then in the deep sea. first. Second, we are working in the coastal areas that in the main island, Ngazija, because we have 4 islands, but as I said, we don't have money, but we need to work, because as a scientist, we don't need to stay, okay, we need money, then we can do anything. But from that, we started from the main island, Gazija, to survey the coastal line, and then to know how the vulnerability is in that island. Because as you said, Nancy, there is the pollution, there is the sea level rise, and so on. So we need to know how we can prevent our population during the sea level rise. Yeah, I think this is what we've started from 2017 until now. I think, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Najim. And before I move to the next important question, for those who are joining, we have Dr. Matthias Sigulu from WIOMSA, we have Miss Helena Silas from Arena Recycling, and we have Dr. Ahmed Najim from University of Comore. And I would like to recognize the presence of Dr. Jacqueline Uku, who is the WIOMSA president. I would like to recognize presence of Mr. Mika Odido from UNESCO, the presence of Jerry Mangena, who is the director of Aqua-Farms Organization, Kevin Roberts, who is the National Professional Officer, Natural Sciences, UNESCO. Thank you so much for being with us here, and for every person who is asking if there's going to be a question and answer session, of course, I'm going to the last question, and I'm going to give a room for interaction with our panelists. But don't forget that in the right-hand side, there is a chat box. I see some people already wishing Happy World Ocean Day. Together we can protect our seas. Thank you for the wishes. You can continue writing and you can contribute, and you can ask your questions in the chat box. So coming back to my panel, starting with Dr. Matthias Igulu. Now we want to hear from your own opinions, because you have shared your innovative journey. You have shared with us the innovative sustainability grant and the things which you are looking for. Now we want to hear from your opinion. Here there are 2 questions which are combined. How far do you think we have gone with innovating our Western Indian Ocean? That is the first part of the question. And the second part of the question, what types of innovations do we need in order to achieve healthy and productive oceans by 2030? Yeah, remember this question comes from your own opinion, from how you see. How do you see how far we have come with innovating our Western Indian Ocean? And secondly, what type of innovations do you feel we need to achieve healthy and productive oceans by 2030? Dr. Matthias Igulu from WIOMSA.
Well, thank you, Nancy. It's a difficult questions, but I'll try as much as possible to answer it. So I think first of all, if I could link the previous speaker, Ellen and Najim. Ellen, she has practical solutions to tackle all issues related with the plastics, and you know, WIOMSA is also supporting quite a number of activities to do with the plastics and microplastics in the Western Indian Oceans. You see, Nadim, he has an idea, but he's looking for funds to expand what he has been doing. So the two actually sum up on the positions of WIOMSA and what we have been supporting and doing in the region. So somebody has an idea, we come and discuss. You know, we're working together. We are a network. It's not that WIOMSA is a property of one individual. It's a network of all scientists in the region. So if we bring our ideas together, then it's possible that we can move forward. So coming back to the questions, are we there yet?
Yes.
I think the nature of the human development is on a progress all the times. So I think we have made quite some progress. If you compare in 1940s, some of us were not there, and the current situation at this moment, there is a significant improvement so far across all sectors in the fisheries, in tourism, in marine energy. You mention it. Everywhere you go, there is an improvement. That has been the nature of human nature. But the question is, how are we prepared to deal with the challenges that will come beyond the 2030? You know that most of the SDG goals will be ending in 2030. So how are we prepared? And what will be the positions of most of us to tackle some of these solutions? For sure, climate change will be there. I don't see it going out in the near future. Issues related to pollutions, and I think when it comes to pollution, if we are able to manage the land-based pollutions, then we can take care of the sea by itself can take care of itself. How are we going to deal with the issue related to ocean acidifications? That's also linked to the climate change. Issues related to marine litter. Issues related to management of threatened and endangered species. I think those are the kind of questions that we want to ask ourselves after 2030. What are our thoughts and what are we going to deal, and what tools should be there to address some of these issues? So we are learning today there's what they call it artificial intelligence. It has been used in most sectors, and more specifically on the industrial development and the earth sectors. But can't it be the issue to be used in fisheries? Let's say the way we collect fisheries data at the moment. Can it be sustainable in the next 20 to 30 years? Is it going to answer most of the questions that we want to know when we get there? I think those are type of thinking that I think we should be asking ourselves. And on moving forward, I think we are in the best positions. There's so much advancement in the technology. We're living in time that things are changing fast. So the only thing is for us to go with those changes. And we in the region, we seem to be lagging behind. And I think this is a wake-up call to all of us, and specifically for young and emerging scientists to pick up the sticks and move us forward. So I think there's so much to learn, even with the current situation with the COVID. What are we learning? Before we could not even talk about visual meeting like the one we have today. This is also a part of the lesson learned. So what lessons are we taking forward, and what can we adapt in the future? So mine is much more of the thinking that provide the solutions. So because we want to stimulate the discussions, and if people come up with practical solutions, then we should be in a position to take it forward. Back to you, Nancy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Matthias, for your contribution. And I'm seeing some questions. Kindly, when you write your question in the chat box, address it to a specific speaker. So there is a question here in which is not addressed to any speaker, and I would like to throw it at you, Dr. Matthias. A question from Jilala. Jilala is asking, how does Marine Hatchery Center be a solution towards sustaining ocean from pollution? Maybe if you can just give your overview thinking before I go to another panelist.
Well, very briefly,
Yes.
we know the marine fisheries and most of the organisms, they are declining. It's not a question. So the marine hatchery, particularly, I know there's one in Zanzibar, Mombasa, South Africa, a couple of countries in the region, they have the hatchery. So I think they are standing in a better position to support the decline of most of the marine species. That also include the sea cucumber, sea turtle, some fish species. So I think as going forward, people might move to more on the aquaculture than harvesting directly from the region. This particular sector has moved forward in the South East Asians, and why not in the WIO region? So this has been a discussion. So I think there's a potential to do better, and in that case, we'll secure the biodiversity of our marine resources. So I think that's in short what I can say.
Thank you so much, Dr. Matthias. And before I ask the same question to other panelists, there are two questions here for Helen. Helen, I'm going to ask you these two questions before I move forward. And thank you for all of you who are submitting your questions. Kindly let's use the right box to interact, to support a point, to add on a point. So Dr. Jacqueline Uku is asking Helen, do you find recycling profitable? The work which you are doing of recycling plastic waste into eco bricks for construction, do you find it profitable? Can you explain a bit?
Okay, thank you, Nancy, and thank you, Jack, for the question, for the nice question. So yes, recycling is a profitable, I can assure you, because building materials now are on demand, and more people demand for building materials for construction. And it is more than 30 million of people choose to live in urban settlement, you know. So these people will need new settlement, will need house, will need offices, uh, building. So the demand for material is very high. So the recycling is very profitable. It depends on the product you made. So for building material, yes, we are on demand. The products are on demand.
Thank you, Helen. And there's another question for you. You are asked, how long have you been working? And can you share how you ended up in recycling? Because you know, for youth of today, especially, we love white collar jobs. But for you, you chose to see a problem which is facing our ocean, the immense plastics which are being thrown each year, and you chose to take your own initiative and make eco bricks out of the plastic. So this person wants to know, how did you end up in recycling venture, specifically for plastic?
Okay, thank you, Jerry, for the question. I have been for this work 4 years now, and I started when I used to go beach. Yeah, I used to go beach for other business, but I found there is a lot of plastic around the beach, and I used to take challenges or problem as an opportunity. So I decided to find a solution on those plastic. So research, academic, and also finding found that in Tanzania, waste in Tanzania or recycling in Tanzania is not popular, and more people, they are not taking recycling as a business. But recycling abroad, I mean outside our country, recycling is a big problem. I mean, is a big business worldwide. So I started to make this venture because there is a lot of things that through my research, I recognize that is opportunity that we can able to have recycling that can be profitable here in Tanzania, and also to create a new jobs through this recycling activities, you know. So from there, I started doing practical and also doing some research on how we can turn those plastic into eco brick. So it's been it take almost 6 months through my research, and I come out with that formula of making those bricks. And until now, it's been improving, you know. Uh, it's going well because we are producing now this eco brick. It's very durable, and also we have been tested this eco brick to the University of Dar es Salaam, and it is also approved that it's raw, and also it has a standard for construction, you know. So that's a short story.
Thank you so much. And I see a lot of questions are coming in, and there is a question for Mr. Mika Odido. So I'm just hoping you won't leave yet until when we finish, so as you may be able to answer. So Helen, before I send you off to go to Ahmed, with your question, I'm going to be very specific. So from your own opinion, how far have we gone with innovating our Western Indian Ocean, specifically in combating pollution? What's your opinion?
Okay, I think we still need more innovation, you know, for ocean, in order to have this sustainable ocean. And also, I recommend many youth to engage in innovate on how we can have a sustainable ocean. And also, I have a recommendation of innovative. You know, the future is technology, so we can use technology in order to save our ocean. You know, we can also have maybe a technology on how to track the marine debris, and also how to track the fish identification when they are distressed. And also, we can have a solution or a technology that can able to clean the ocean from the pollution, like plastic waste. You know, we don't have a technology that can able to collect or to clean the ocean. So I think we can have those innovation in order to make a clean ocean, and we can innovate into technology, you know. And also, you know, the ocean is not about maybe pollution only. It's also it's a climate issue, you know. About 9% of global trade use a large cargo shipping. The fuel from the shipping, they release the carbon emissions in our ocean. So I think we can have innovation that can create us carbon emission in our ocean in order to have a sustainable ocean. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we have seen that Helen has pointed out some areas which we still need innovation. Actually, that was going to be my next question, but since you have summarized it, I'm going to summarize also for others. Helen is suggesting that we have in order to have the clean ocean, we need to have innovation that can track marine debris, they can track fish, and also the carbon emissions to be reduced in our oceans. So Ellen, do you have any other type of recommendation of what we need to do to achieve healthy and productive oceans apart from what you have said?
I think we need to have those technologies, you know.
Okay.
The future is technology, so we need to invest in technology to have research and to copy with standards about people maybe across the world, what they are doing. And here in Tanzania, maybe we can have those technologies, you know. We have a few innovators in ocean. I mean, innovators who are solving problems in the ocean. So I think we as youth, we need to have innovation that can able to save our ocean.
Thank you, Helen. I'll go to Dr. Najim Mohammed. After that, I've seen all the questions, and I promise I'm going to read them very, very fast, and we're going to get answers. So, Dr. Najim, the same question. From your own opinion, how far do you think we have gone with innovating our Western Indian Ocean?
Okay. I think I will specify within the region, but I will specify in Comoros because our institution is new, our university is new, so we have to learn from the other countries within the region or outside the region, because we, as we said, we need to innovate. We need to have some new technologies, some new methods that we can work with to try to have a solution with the climate change, with the pollution, and so on. So first of all, we have, because as I said, when I was arrived, I saw that there is nothing to, I mean, nothing is done in the ocean in my country. So I don't know. I've asked, until now, I'm asking myself this question: why our elders, or why us as a younger, we don't work in the ocean? Because I think in the ocean we have so many things to do that not already done. So first of all, maybe we need to sensitize the students. I will take an example. We have a bachelor marine biology bachelor, but students were still feared that what we will do after. I mean, they don't know the meaning of marine biology or marine ecology. So we need to sensitize this kind of people to enter in, to know what does it mean the ocean. So because in my country we this is one of my challenge that I'm doing. We need to have expertise. I mean, the capacity building, because we don't have this, especially in our institution. So when we have this this path, I think we can do all, because most of the fields of marine ecosystems, of marine biology or ecology, there is no any special. There are few actually. So we don't know how we can work on, or what we can start from that we to innovate something. So I think my opinion is that to learn from other countries, and then to have the expertise and capacity building to say, okay, now we can work on marine ecosystems and so on. Yeah, I think, to be short, because I think the time is running.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Just to summarize, the question was for the panelists to give their views on how they think, how far we have gone with innovating our Indian Oceans, and what type of innovation would they recommend to be done. And in summary, Dr. Matthias said that we are in progress compared to before, and he has pointed out some of the highlights of things which we need to pay attention in comparison with artificial intelligence, how we can make artificial intelligence work for the sustainable of our oceans, while Helen emphasized much on embracing technology, and she also pointed out some few highlights like tracking marine debris, tracking the fish to clean the ocean of our plastic waste, and how to reduce the carbon emissions. And Dr. Ahmed emphasized on learning from other countries in terms of expertise and also capacity building. So since that marks the end of my questions for my part, now I'm going to read the questions of the audience, which are specifically to a certain panelist. So I will start with Dr. Matthias again. Dr. Matthias, when we go back, since we mentioned the Innovative Sustainability Grant from WIOMSA, so there is a delegate who wants to know, let me see, how is WIOMSA uptaking the Ocean Science Decade for the benefit of the WIO and other oceans? So before answering this question, Dr. Igulu, maybe maybe there's some people who don't understand the Ocean Science Decade. Maybe can you first of all try to elaborate that in a bit and then answer directly this question, how is WIOMSA uptaking the Ocean Science Decade for the benefit of the WIO and other oceans? Very briefly, so as I may move to another question.
Yeah, I think since we have Mika here, I think he's the best person to tackle that. I don't want to spoil his show. I'll leave it to him. But all in all, we have been promoting the use of science in the regions to make sure that all the decisions that are made in the regions are based on the best available science that we have. So it doesn't mean that we are everywhere, but the people that we work with, the institution that we work with in the regions, they're the best that we have. So we are counting on them, and we are counting on emerging scientists to move us forward. So for that purpose, maybe I leave it to Mika, then I'll come back with the other questions.
Thank you so much. Mika, can we have you answer this question, if you don't mind, for the benefit of the World Ocean Day, for the people who are here? We are honoring the global movement of this really important day. So maybe can you just elaborate to us about what Dr. Matthias has taken over?
It's really a pleasure for me to join all of you today as you mark the World Ocean Day.
Pleasure is ours. Thank you.
I'm especially heartened to see our young scientists really taking this day seriously and really taking ocean sciences seriously.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll begin by looking at addressing the question that was asked by Cosmas Munga regarding the law applications for
ocean science.
Ocean science training. I think is something that has been echoed by Madagascar and also by NatGym.
Yes.
It all boils down to jobs. Are we convinced our youth that they'll be able to get jobs when they do ocean sciences?
Exactly.
Is something that we really need to reflect on. And have we put in place the infrastructure that will make them get jobs with the training that they will get? Is the training that we are offering them in our universities preparing them to get jobs? I was looking at the analysis of intakes for undergraduate courses in Kenyan public universities, which was announced last week. And one thing that was worrying was that two courses at Pwani University, the Bachelor of Oceanography had 0 applicants. And at Kisii University in Western Kenya, the degree course in aquaculture also had 0 applicants. It shows that our youths are not convinced that they will get jobs when they do these courses, and that's something that we really need to address. Which also brings me to the presentation by Helen. Helen has really demonstrated that you don't have to look for jobs. You can also create jobs with the skills that you have got. But then, are we equipping our youth to be able to create the jobs? Are we providing them the resources to be able to create the jobs? Those are some of the things that we really need to think about. Coming back to the UN Decade for Ocean Science, the decade is meant to transform the way we do ocean sciences and to to be able to address some of the key challenges that we have in ocean sciences. I mean, if you compare ocean sciences, for example, to other sciences, very little has been done in developing ocean sciences. I'll give a few examples. Look at mapping of the oceans. Less than 5% of the oceans have been mapped to high resolution, and already the entire surface of the moon is mapped to to high resolution. You look at even having people go to different parts of the earth. If you look at the ocean depth, the deeper part of the ocean is about uh, the same distance as the highest part on earth. I mean, Mount Everest. Mount Everest, I think something like over 4,000 people have gone to the top of, have climbed to the top of Mount Everest. And if you look at the oceans, we have, I think, about 5 people who have gone to the deepest part of the oceans. Two of them went last year. So before that, it's only 3 people who had gone to the deepest part of the oceans. You look at even the mapping of biodiversity. We estimate that more than 1 million species in the oceans have not yet been mapped. So the oceans will provide, I mean, the decade will provide an opportunity for science to be able to get information to address some of these issues. We have in particular identified 6 societal concerns that needs to be addressed. First is a clean ocean, addressing pollution in the oceans. Second is a healthy and resilient oceans. Third is a predictable ocean. Fourth is a safe ocean, addressing the different hazards from oceans like storm surges, like cyclones, like harmful algal blooms. Fifth is a sustainably harvested and productive oceans. Looking at how we can make the fisheries productive. We reduce overfishing, we reduce the IUUs. And sixth is a transparent ocean, where we are able to access the data and information about the ocean. We had a regional workshop on the decade here in Nairobi at the end of January, and many of you on the call participated during in the workshop. And during that workshop, we identified several key areas that we as our region need to address. One of them, of course, is getting the youth into ocean sciences and getting jobs for them. Another one was capacity development. Another one was science for the blue economy, for harnessing the blue economy. Another one was getting local solutions to our problems and using existing mechanisms. And another area that you highlighted was ocean literacy. Getting our youth before they get to university to know about the oceans. One of the problems is that many of our youth also, before they get to university, don't even know about the oceans, apart from those who come from the coastal areas. Many people from inland do not know what sort of opportunities they'll be able to get in oceans. So we need to be able to improve the ocean literacy. So I think that basically covers the issue about the decade and about the getting people into ocean science.
Yes, yes.
Regarding the decade, the regional report is ready. If any of you has not received it, just send me an email and I'll forward you the report.
Thank you so much, Mika. Thank you so much. For those who didn't get it right, the question it was asked by a certain attendee saying that why are we facing low numbers of students joining marine sciences, specifically in Kenya, and Mika said even in Madagascar. And Mika gave the overview that most of the students are not convinced that to get jobs. And for this, I can share a personal story. I myself am a marine student, and when I was starting, when people would read my ID, would say, so it means that you are going to be maybe a fisherman, or maybe you're going to be a swimmer. It's like they don't see that vision of getting the jobs in the field. But also Mika emphasized on being job creators, giving an example of Helen who saw the challenge in the plastic pollution in our ocean, but she created a venture out of it. So thinking in a venture form. And also he highlighted about the decade. He highlighted a few things about the decade, and also he has offered, if anyone has not got the report, you can email him, he will send it to you, so as we may all be part of the movement, we may all be part of creating the ocean we want for our own future. Thank you so much, Mika. So if I could go to the next question. The next question is addressed to Dr. Igulu again. Dr. Igulu, there's a question from Gilbert. He's saying it is now clear that some of the scientific research by different scientists are being implemented as innovation for wealth. Example, plastic recycling. So he's asking, what is the strategy put along by WIOMSA to try to translate the published research on our region for implementation and wealth creation by non-scientific communities?
Thanks, Nancy, and particularly Gilbert for the questions. It's true that WIOMSA is supporting various initiatives that deal with the marine plastics and of course also microplastics. Gilbert, coming from Kemfrey, it should be really aware on what we are doing with the Kemfrey. So, what strategies do you have? Well, we have different strategies. One of them, WIOMSA, is engaged or works in collaborations with the Nairobi Conventions. Most of you might be aware of it. If not, then I would encourage you to go to the website to check what the Nairobi Convention is doing. So through the Nairobi Convention, we have been able to push forward some of the regional agenda, and one of them is issue to do with the plastics. So that's at the policy level. So we're working with the scientists in the regions to make sure that the research they have published, they just not ending up in their cupboards. So one of our criteria, if somebody is awarded a particular grant, he or she must publish that particular work. And of course, we're also encouraging people to make sure that the data that they have generated is archived in one of the regional hubs. And Mika Odida is here. He might highlight on that. But more important is to make sure that what we are doing in the region doesn't go to the dustbins. So it has to be known, it has to be open, and it has to be accessible to everyone. For the non-scientists, we have different ways of communications. We're reaching them through, we have our blogs, that's for non-scientists. We're engaging with the local communities. So we have different platforms to make sure that all our members are doing, they reach to the final stakeholders. So in short, I think that's what I can say. But again, I will encourage people to go on our website. There are more details on how we operate and how we support people in the region. So back to you, Nancy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Igulu. And due to time, I don't think if I will be able to address any other question. But as I am closing, kindly the respective panelists see the questions in the chat box, and if you can respond to any, please do as I'm winding up. So I would like to thank all the three panelists who were here today. We had Dr. Matthias Sigulu from WIOMSA. We had Miss Helen Silas, our only lady of the night, from Arena Recycling, and we had Dr. Najim Ahmed from University of Comore. You can see the diverse of how we have come together. We didn't want this day to pass just because of COVID-19. We had to find a way that we could raise these concerns and issue of the Western Indian Ocean. Also, Mika is reminding you that there is a webinar on ocean literacy tomorrow and another on developing regional ocean information hub on Wednesday. You can email him so as you can continue celebrating our World Ocean Day while we continue to brainstorm on the solutions which we can create. So before I totally close, I don't think if it will be fair if we don't hear anything from Dr. Jacqueline Uku. She has been here, she has participated. And with all due respect, Dr. Uku, kindly just say something for very few minutes. Then I'm going to welcome a closing note from Director of Aqua-Farms Organization, and we are going to celebrate while we are conscious with our environment. Dr. Uku, please, can we just hear from you?
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I hope I can be heard.
Yes, clearly.
Now, it is a privilege to be on this platform, and I'm very thankful to Aqua-Farms for putting it together, to the panelists for agreeing to engage in this dialogue, and for all participants. I can see we have representatives from all over the region, and I believe that is our vision for WIOMSA. In a sense, I think this is a celebration of how WIOMSA should work. So thank you for helping us celebrate together.
Thank you.
And raising our consciousness together. I just wanted to make some few remarks based on what has been discussed. And the first one I will just allude to is a follow-up of what Mika indicated, how we are participating as WIOMSA in the Ocean Decade. And I recognize that sometimes these decades come and go. They seem very far away because a lot of the work is crafted outside of our region. But as WIOMSA, we are trying to bring this information into our region and to look at the outcomes that have been planned and to see how do we fit in making sure we meet these outcomes and we become part of the journey for the next decade. And so I'll just allude to some of the things we are doing in the outcome for a clean ocean. We are working, and you see calls for microplastic work, plastics, effluents, and eutrophication. When we talk about a healthy and resilient ocean, we are looking at ocean acidification, coral bleaching, mangrove ecosystems, blue carbon. When we talk about outcomes within the decade for a predicted ocean, we are part of global nodes and networks that benefit from data. Networks, data sharing, we have data collection nodes in different institutions across the region. We have activities that contribute to a safe ocean, where we are using systems to monitor things like algal blooms, seafood safety, early warning systems for tsunamis and storms. A sustainably harvested and productive ocean, we're looking at our blue economy, the sustainability of that. We have outcomes on a transparent and accessible ocean. And there we are looking to make sure that the ocean dialogue is accessible to all, especially the next generation. And I think one of the things that has been alluded is we still are very much ocean blind in our region, such that, as Nancy alluded, when you do take a career in marine sciences, us to begin to talk about innovations. And I think the theme for this World Ocean Day this year was very, very important, because innovations and digital things are things that the youth are engaged in. And I like interventions that have said, even though we've not had money, we've been able to do things. And I think for us for the coming generation, it's important that we become more proactive. We look at the tools in our hands and begin doing something. It can be small, it can be little, but once you start the journey, it will grow. The money will follow, but we have to start. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Uku. So nice for those remarks. We are really happy and really happy. Personally, I'm really happy that you could attend today. And lastly, I would like to welcome a closing note from Director of Aqua-Farms Organization, in which chapter there we're going to totally close. Welcome.
Hello, guys. I'm so happy to be here and happy World Ocean Day, and I'm very pleased that everyone took the time to participate in this very important day. As Aqua-Farms, we are very pleased to organize this event it's our third time, and since 2018, and we're looking forward to keep organizing the event because it's bringing together people from various fields, from various places across the region, and it has always been fruitful. We've been celebrating it in various themes, and the good thing is that this theme of this year has been about innovation. And as Aqua-Farms, we are like a center of innovation in our case, because we do encourage young people who are in Tanzania to come work with us so that we can help them out on how they can bring on solutions into various issues that are affecting the ocean and the fisheries. So I would really like to make a remarks on a few things that are mentioned by all the speakers and questions that are asked, and I'll just pin them by saying youth has been mentioned as an important thing. Technology and AI has been also mentioned as a very, very necessary thing towards the upcoming decade. And another thing has been mentioned is that this upcoming decade is just a loop of 10 years that if we can use it best, then it could be of a better history ahead, and it's going to take time for you to come back again. And another important thing that has been mentioned is about ensuring that literacy moves forward and gets back to the younger people who are about to enter the career. And thank you to WIOMSA by setting up the WIO Summit. It's really helping the young people to get together and collaborate for within the region and even beyond. And apart from that, also it helps us to know each other in one way or the other. Something that I would just like to let you know is that we have always been writing up reports for the World Ocean Day, and these reports we have been sharing with the institutions across the region and encouraging them that to adopt some of the proposed concepts, and we are going to do the same for this case. And I hope the reports will also get to you, and we hope that each of you at your own institution will try to imply that you can do at best with the limited resources that you have. And with this, then I would like to thank you all and close the World Ocean Day. Please do not forget to get a sip of wine if you do, or a sip of water for this great day tomorrow.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much.
Jerry. Thank you so much. And with closing, I would like also to applaud all the entities which are taking lead towards sustainability of our oceans. We see you, we acknowledge you, we appreciate you. WIOMSA, Aqua-Farms Organization, Ocean Literacy Initiative, Arena Recycling, University of Comore, our beloved UNESCO. Thank you so much for being with us here. We really appreciate you, and let's continue with the great work of making sure that our ocean are sustainable for us and the future generation. And before we totally leave, I will ask all of us to unmute our mic and say World Oceans Day. And after there, I'm going to end the meeting. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, unmute your mic, and we are all shouting Happy World Oceans Day, and then we are done. So 1, unmute. 2, please unmute. Hey, I haven't unmute one. Okay. 3. Happy World Ocean Day. Thank you so much, guys. Go and celebrate, and don't forget forget to be responsible with our ocean, please. Bye.
Thank
Good
you so
night.
much, Nafi.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.